Welcome everyone, this is Coaching in Session. My name is Michael Rearden and I will be your mindset coach today. And today we're going to be talking about how to change the year in 2024. If you are familiar with the election calendar, 2024 is going to be a big year. We have our presidential, we are going to be shifting powers, maybe we're going to be adjusting, and there could be a huge shift in the mindset because of what could happen. It can be that people are going to be upset about who's in power. And it doesn't necessarily matter if you're Republican or Democrat or independent. You can have an idea, a mindset of a person that you can say, I don't really like that person. Here in America, we have the right to vote. And sometimes it is going to be neck and neck, 50-50. That creates a huge divide in our culture, our society, our country. And yet, people today don't know how to learn how to have conversations that are cordial. I can speak to people who have different opinions than me, but today it's almost like if you have a different opinion than me, it's like, oh, you're so wrong. When you're not open to learning about, well, what is truly going on? What are other people thinking about? Because it's not only your way or the highway, it could be any way. Our mindset, how we think, how we develop, that's going to be unique to the individual. So we do have to look at multiple aspects to mindset so we can get to the point and make 2024 a better year than last year. If you know anything about me, we're not getting into the mentality of, oh, hoopity, I got my New Year's resolutions. I'm going to make 2024 the best year. I'm so happy 2023 is gone. It was a terrible year. I hope 2024 is better. This is not that. This is going to be giving you actionable steps that you can take to make 2024 guaranteed a better year. Because you should every single day be progressing as a person. Maybe you fail one day. How about every week? How about every month? So we need to get into that mindset. So let's take a look at my most recent blog, how to make some changes in 2024 and make it the best year that you have had yet. Because it depends on your mindset, not on what you hope, not on what you think. Your mindset. All right, everyone, if you're new to the channel, new to the podcast, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and to also share this episode with as many people as you can, because as we go into the new year, many people are going to be getting into that mindset. They're going to be saying, I want to make 2024 the best year. They're going to be writing out their resolutions. Maybe they're reading a bunch of books. Maybe they're reading this blog, and they're trying to make 2024 a better year. But yet it seems like no matter what they do, it's always a hiccup, it's always a hurdle. And we do have to look at this blog and we have to look at some key aspects to what you're going to be looking at, right? We need to explore how our everyday choices, attitudes, behaviors, and mindsets can create a ripple effect beyond what we can ever imagine. And that is what we start off in this blog. I give a great intro and then we go into how to do it, right? Because our choices have some amazing impact, and we're going to actually be talking about mindset for most of this month on our blogs, because it is so important that we go in with a strong mindset, that we understand aspects to mindset, and then we show up in mindset. Because it is easy to say you're going to do something. It is easy to say, oh, the reason why I can't show up is because of this, and make an excuse. We need to start to not only remain accountable or consistent, but to understand that our mindset is potentially the most powerful thing we will ever have access to in our life. That mindset can be good, it can be bad. And we're going to be talking about that today, because we have to understand that, yes, we want to change the world, but maybe our views of changing the world might not be in line with what everyone else says. There is a reason why I only want to impact 25% of the world. It's a huge piece of the world. 25%, a quarter of the world's population, 2 billion people. That's a lot of people. But I understand something about mindset. I know effectively I can easily get 20. I'm pushing only 5 more percent. There's going to be 10% in the people of the world that are going to not want to change, regardless of how much I pushed them or coerced them, showed them the data, showed them the facts, coached them, it's not going to matter. They're not going to change just because they are so rigid in their own opinion. They're not going to change their mindset. So how can they change the world if they're not willing to change their mindset and to look at the other side of the coin? We have to not only look at our situation, but every situation around us. Because if we think about empathy, we are maybe not experiencing everything firsthand, but at least we can apply a little bit of understanding to something. For example, maybe you grew up with no parents. You have a friend, they lost their parents in a tragic accident. Do you just say, well, now you're like me? Okay, that's maybe hurtful for the friendship. But maybe you can say, I never had a mom or dad myself, but it seems like if I did, it would be something that would be really hurtful to lose them after I've learned to love them. That's a stronger mindset when you go there, because now you can talk to the person. Now the person's not shut down. We need to learn how to explore this aspect, how to change the world. We need to begin with ourselves. So I talk about it on this blog. We go into detail about a little bit of the fallacy of time, how we have to use time effectively, manage it, things that you can take, actionable steps that are going to get you there a lot sooner. When you're done reading this blog, you're going to have a good understanding of how to change your world and then how to give yourself some direction. So in 2024, you can be making progress every single month, at least the minimum every single month. When you have a coach, we make progress every single week. Now, you might make progress every single day, but we do have to give the mind something palatable in the beginning. A week is what I found to be the most effective. Sometimes it has to be maybe every 2 weeks, as long as a month sometimes, because it depends on the person's mindset. Some people are really able to change quickly. Some people are stuck in their ways. Some people are just not in a good place mentally, and they need some time to adjust. So we're going to be talking about that today, how to give yourself better choices, attitudes, and behaviors and mindsets that is going to make 2024 the best year for you. So if you remember last week on the blog, The Fallacy of Time, I spoke about how tomorrow's not promised, and still tomorrow's not promised. So we do have to look at the aspect, well, if tomorrow's not promised, why should I even bother? Why should I even care about 2024? And the reason is that we're alive. Most people who enter nursing homes, they're getting close to death, maybe they lose a loved one. They start to see the years as just another year. It's going to be the same thing. And when you give yourself that logic, it is the same thing. It turns out to be the same thing. What you did last year is what you're going to be doing next year. And it's like, well, when does that change start to happen? Yes, you can get lucky, but that's not going to be a long-term effect. We need to develop habits that are going to give us better choices in our day. I was reading a book called Tiny Habits. I'm not going to say the book is going to be a game changer, but there's a lot of steps in that book that help you develop better and stronger habits. What you need more than anything, besides a coach, is strong habits. Typically, when you get a coach, this is just natural. You're going to build habits with your coach. You're going to build routines, regiments, schedules. That's just a common day in a coaching session. And here at Reven Concepts, we do free coaching sessions for anyone who is ready and willing and able to want to make some changes in their life. So you can come in, get your first session, and learn how to structure everything so you can be successful. Now, it's not going to be as easy as, okay, I did one session, I'm fixed. Think of it as a physical therapy that you get hurt, maybe your leg. It's going to take some time for you to walk properly. Think of a baby. They are not able to move, then they're able to turn over, then they're able to crawl, then they're able to stand, then they're able to walk, then they're able to run. That is the progress or the aspect to mindset that we should be looking at. because you might be at the stage where now you're crawling, you're just barely making it. You're getting to where you have to be, but it's not the most effective and efficient way for you to get there. That's not a problem. We can change that. So we learn how to change our mindset a little bit. And instead of crawling everywhere, we're going to start walking everywhere. And so we start walking. We start getting to the places that would have taken us weeks, maybe months to get to before. And then we start to develop a stronger sense of mentality. Our purpose becomes more refined. Our choices become more clear. Our beliefs are more powerful. I mean, you name it, mindset is going to be adjusting it. Now, it is not going to be the perfect fix for everything. Sometimes we need to not just look at our mindset for what it can do for us, but we do need to understand where it is at this moment. The best example I can give is if someone's in a really tough spot in life, they might not have a mindset that is really, hey, I'm going to push myself today. But we create the awareness to mindset, right? And that's how we have our attitude to mindset. Because we have to understand that if we're going through a hard patch, how long is this hard patch going to last us, right? They say that when it rains, it pours, but eventually the sun will shine. It's not going to keep on raining. It might rain for weeks, maybe months at a time, but the sun will come out. You bet your bottom dollar the sun will come out tomorrow, and he even knew it. And so we have to do that ourselves. But we don't have the behaviors to give ourselves that logic because we are doing the wrong things in our day. Our phones, our technologies, what we do on a daily basis, it's like it is not helpful. People are going to gain weight this year. People are going to have a hard time in their relationships, especially because of the political climate. People are going to be in relationships and they're going to say, you voted for who? Oh, I can't be around you. And it's like, it doesn't matter your affiliation. It matters your values. So the value you might have is family, but then you can look at it in a different light, right? You can say, well, I'm going to get more if I vote Republican, or I'm going to get more if I vote Democrat, whatever. And there's going to be different aspects to what family is to the different political parties and what they're going to do. Think of education. There are political parties that lean more to education. And then there's going to be more that are kind of saying, hey, it's pretty good the way it is. Let's just keep things going. Maybe make a couple of adjustments, but we're not going to do too much with education. It's doing fine. You're going to probably vote for someone who's going to be reforming education to a bigger and better standard, especially if you have children. So your circumstance is going to dictate how you think. But we do have to understand that just because our circumstance is this today doesn't have to be that tomorrow. We have to do some forward thinking. Not just look at our current circumstance, but look at our future current circumstances also. For the people who fail to do it, they're going to find that making 2024 a better year or making a change in 2024 is going to be damn near impossible because you are giving yourself a very strict mindset. I can only believe this. I can only do this. If this is not in line with what I'm going for, then I cannot support it. When in reality, if you are more open to different people, different cultures, you're going to find, hey, maybe I don't agree with them, but at least I'm willing to understand. At least I'm willing to listen. At least I'm not going to allow my opinion to always reign supreme in every conversation. Yes, we can apply some emotion and we can give some passion into what we do and how we feel. There's nothing wrong with that. But for the people who become emotionally uncontrollable, those people are going to be those reckless people who eventually get to a certain level that do something because their emotions enacted it. We have to be in control of our thoughts, our feelings, and our actions. If you cannot control them, 2024, the first thing you need to do is get a grasp on how to control your thoughts, how to control your feelings, and how to control your actions. I talk about it in this blog, but let's go through it really quickly. Your thoughts are going to be the house in what you are constantly ruminating, thinking about, envisioning. And it's important that these thoughts are going to be growth minded, if you're familiar with growth and fixed minded, that you are trying to not only make your life better, but everything around you better. This is where it's important to not say that you're going to make people better, but just everyone around you is going to benefit from you being better. An example to that would be the other day, my wife, my son, and I, we went to the park to go walking. And didn't matter about color. We had Indians, people were white, black, everyone was there. They had aerobics, the kids were playing, everyone was happy. When the kid is, walking, everyone's saying, "Oh, hi," and everyone's so friendly. And we walked by some guys who were fishing, and they had to stop and they had to tell us what type of day they had. They had a great day fishing and that they caught some really good fish. And so we were able to do that because we had the mindset of prosperity around us. I chose to live in Texas because of the mindset, not because of, this is a really bustling place for my business. To be honest, I didn't even know I was going to start a business when I moved here in 2016. I just said I needed to get out of Connecticut. I needed to get out of that atmosphere. Texas had exactly what I was looking for. I came for the people. I understand that there's going to be cities in Texas that are not going to be exactly everyone's cup of tea. Austin is a great example. We have people who support the LGBT, people who are activists or whatever, people who are strongly emotional and opinionated. And we might say, whoa, this is not the place for me. They have a different mentality. But again, these are people. These are people with a mindset of their own. People who are super passionate about what they do. It's not so much of, hey, I'm living in Austin. I need to be upset at the people who don't have the same beliefs as me. Or I need to stay away from the people who don't believe what I believe in. That's not helpful for me. It is not helpful to society. Because at the end of the day, if you believe something, you're going to believe it. So you might as well believe what you want to believe and be in control of your thoughts and how you operate in them, and then be fine with it. And if everyone was fine with what other people did in the sense of positivity and growth-minded, non-criminal activity, you're going to find that the community of people are going to be better off. It doesn't matter if my neighbor likes blue and I like green. I'm not going to say that person is crazy because they like a different color. Now, I might think that I don't know what type of person will like green, or what type of person will like pink, or what type of person will like yellow. I'm going to just look at my circumstance, where I am, because I have control over me. And that leads us into our actions, right? Our thoughts are going to be how we think about things, but then we get into our actions. What are we doing on a consistent basis? Are we working out? Are we eating healthy? And I mean, it is as simple as getting off your phone, getting outside and doing something. For me, I'm fortunate where I can spend time with the family, still do the business, have people who work for me, and we grow the business. I'm fortunate. I'm blessed. But it didn't happen because I was on the sofa on my phone all day. I needed to get up. I needed to give myself something. I needed to get coaching. I needed to get my act together because my actions weren't properly aligned at the beginning of this. Yes, I was super powerful in the sense of mindset from an early age in my 20s, thinking about being present in the moment. But I'm human, and that's going to be both my greatest strength and weakness. And so when I give myself the opportunity to be human, I can understand that some days I'm not going to want to show up. I'm going to say, you know what? I have been going hard. I'm on the tippy edge of burnout, and I need to stop before I hit it because I talked about burnout. If you want to prevent burnout, you don't let it happen. Burnout is something I stay away from, and sometimes I have to say, you know what? There's no action today. We're just going to be very minimal action. What is the bare minimum that I need to do to maintain maybe even a step more, and so I'm better? So tomorrow I can say I grew yesterday, and then I give myself better actions the next day when I'm ready, when I'm able to. Again, the fallacy of time, we don't have tomorrow, but we still plan for it. And our actions have to be in line with that. You're not going to just sit down, eat a bunch of hamburgers, just say, well, I'm not going to be here tomorrow. I don't have to worry about going on the treadmill. Every single day, you have to be cognizant. Your body, your vessel is necessary to get you to the places that you want to go. If your body's not there, at least your mind has to be. So it's important that your mindset is there. Then we get into the final piece of the puzzle. We talked about our thoughts, we talked about our actions, but then we need to get into our thoughts, our feelings, and our actions. Our feelings are going to be the cream, it's going to be the center part, it's going to be the reason why we do many things, right? It's going to be at the center for our actions typically. I feel like I need a rest. So my action is I'm not going to take action. Well, I feel like I need to do more. Maybe I'm going to push myself to burnout. I feel like I don't like this person. Well, I'm going to avoid these people and I'm going to have an opinion and a prejudice against people because I have this belief. But if I started to change something about myself, my thoughts, my feelings, and my actions, imagine how much I will change in 2024. But then imagine how many more people I would attract with the aura that I have created. And so we create the ripple by changing ourselves, by becoming in control of ourselves, by becoming people who are powerful at looking at their potential in all aspects to what they can do and what they will do, and maybe even what they should do. But then at the end of the day, you get to decide what you will do. It's difficult, I understand, some days to push, especially when things are unknown. It can be difficult for you to say, hey, I want to take some appropriate actions today. How do I do it? I want to be a different person this year. Where do I begin? And so this is going to be maybe the best place you can begin this year. And even if you listen to this episode a little bit later, maybe in February, maybe in April, heck, even in July, you can still change the world in 2024. It doesn't matter about political climate. It doesn't matter about what other people think or what's going on truly in the world. What's going on in your world? How can you embark on a new journey each and every day? How can you start to challenge yourself, go through the complexities of life, and come out on top? On top doesn't mean you win. On top means you learned. Not every moment we're going to have a verdict that we're going to be proud of, or a verdict that maybe we were hoping for. Sometimes we're going to get an eye-opening experience that's going to help us learn, okay, well, I didn't win this time. Let me keep on pushing. And so we need to get into that mindset to change the world, and it's going to require a huge amount of effort, a huge amount of learning. And in this blog, we give you everything you're going to need in order to change the world in 2024. So I know I said a lot. There's a lot to think about. There's a lot to do. Should you write New Year's resolutions? I would actually do something different. I did this last year in 2022 to 2023. I wrote a list of like 101 wishes I had. I looked at the list periodically throughout the year and I started just crossing things off, and I was just like, whoa. It's not like I even put too much attention to these things, and it just happened naturally. But then I started to become aware. I reignited my initial thoughts of the year. This is not a resolution. These are wishes. Literally, if I had a genie, I would wish for them. But they're coming true, wish after wish after wish, and I never got a genie. This is not Aladdin. So I was asking myself, well, what's the difference between a wish and a year? The answer is you. You get to decide if a wish becomes reality, and the year gets to decide if you're going to do it. So are you going to do it in 2024? Are you going to do it in 2025? Are you going to be the person you need in 2024 or 2026? It doesn't matter, but your dreams matter. They should matter. And if they don't matter, reach out to us. We are going to understand, well, what's the block? What's the discrepancy? Why do you believe you do not matter? Why do you believe your thoughts, your feelings, and your actions should not be controlled by you, should be the force that you are 100% in control of. There's so many aspects to mindset, and there's so many aspects to change the world in 2024. What I will say is if you can begin with yourself, everything else is going to follow. You're going to see that maybe you do that 101 wishes that I did, and it's going to be something that you're just like, whoa, I'm just doing it. And I'm doing it subconsciously because you finally put it into a realization. Instead of just in your mind, you put it on paper. And now your subconscious mind is going to see that it is real, that it is tangible. The dream might not be reality yet, but you can write it down. You can read it. If you can believe it, you can achieve it. Napoleon Hill said it the best. So believe that 2024 can be the year that you change, because it's not so much of 2024 is going to be the best year yet. Can you be the best person for 2024? That's going to change your whole entire trajectory. It's going to change your whole entire circumstance, and it's going to leave you in a better place when the year ends. And you're going to look back at all the accomplishments, at everything you have done, and you're going to say, whoa, I did that. Mindset can be the key, but mindset can also be the enemy. So learn how to control your mindset. Get a coach today. Reach out to us, revenconcepts.com. We'll be more than happy to help you on this journey, making 2024 the year that you make the changes that you need to reach your full potential. My name is Michael Rearden. I'm a mindset coach. If you have any questions, email me coachinginsession@gmail.com, and I will see everyone on the next episode of Coaching in Session. Until then, everyone take care.